Today is the 14th November 2009. We will deal with Satipaṭṭhāna Vipassanā meditation. When we practice Vipassanā meditation, first of all, we should rightly understand the meaning of the word Vipassanā. The word Vipassanā is a compound word. Vi is one word and Passana is another word. Vi here refers to three characteristics of existence, that is anicca, dukkha and anatta. Anicca is impermanence, dukkha is suffering, anatta is impersonal nature. Vipassanā is the realization or right understanding of these three characteristics. When we and Vipassanas are compounded, then the word Vipassana means the realization or the right understanding of impermanence, suffering, impersonal nature of nama and rupa, mental and physical phenomena. I will repeat. The word Vipassana means the realization and the right understanding of impermanence, suffering, impersonal nature of nama and rupa, mental and physical phenomena. So, the purpose of Vipassana meditation is to realize these three characteristics: impermanence, suffering, impersonal nature of mental and physical phenomena, and thereby removes all mental defilement, which are the causes of all kinds of suffering. Then we can realize the cessation of all kinds of suffering when we are able to completely remove all mental defilement, kilesas. Through Vipassanā jnana, insight knowledge, we are able to realize impermanence, suffering, impersonal nature of mental and physical phenomena. Then we are able to remove all mental defilement, kilesas, through magga jnana, path knowledge, and phala jnana, fruition knowledge. Then the kilesas ceases. Kilesas cease to exist. Then we experience the cessation of kilesa and the cessation of suffering, nibbana. Kilesas, mental defilements, are the causes of all kinds of suffering. When we have these mental defilement kilesas, and our mind, we are sure to have suffering. If we have no kilesas, no mental defilements at all, then we don't have any suffering. We experience the cessation of suffering. So to get rid of this suffering, we need to abandon. We need to exterminate all of these mental defilement, kilesas. To exterminate all of these kilesas, mental defilements, we must realize impermanent suffering, impersonal nature of nama and rupa, mental and physical phenomena. To realize the true nature of mental and physical phenomena, that is anicca, dukkha and anatta, we should practice mindfulness meditation by being mindful of whatever arises in our body and mind as it really occurs according to Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta. Every mental state is subject to arising and passing away, so they are impermanent. In the same way, every physical phenomenon also arises and passes away, so they are also impermanent. Anicca. Every mental state and physical processes are instantly, constantly oppressed by arising and passing away, so they are called dukkha, suffering. So every mental state and physical phenomenon has impermanence and suffering. And also, every mental state and physical process, they are neither a person, nor a being, neither a self, nor a soul. What are they? They are the natural process of mentality and physicality, which are ever changing through rising and passing away. These are through impermanent, suffering, impersonal nature. These three characteristics are the true nature of nama and rupa, mental and physical phenomena. To realize the true nature of nama and rupa, that are anicca, dukkha, anatta, we should be mindful of whatever arises in our rupa, physical phenomenon, and our nama, mental phenomena, as it really occurs. To be mindful of whatever arises in our body and mind is the technique of mindfulness and meditation in accordance with Satipaṭṭhāna Sutra, the discourse of the four foundations of mindfulness. In the discourse of Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, the Buddha teaches us to be aware of, to be mindful of, to observe whatever mental state arises and whatever physical phenomena arises, it must be aware of, it must be mindful of as it really occurs. That is mindfulness meditation, Vipassanā meditation. So, Vipassanā meditator, mindfulness meditator, does not, meditator should not satisfy himself with realization of sabhava lakkhana, specific characteristic of a mental physical phenomena. Through realization of sabhava lakkhana, he should proceed with practice until he has completely experienced samanya lakkhana, common characteristic of a mental and physical phenomena. Only when he has experienced samanya lakkhana, that is impermanent, suffering, impersonal nature of a nama and rupa, he will be able to remove mental defilements. After he has completely experienced all the 13 stages of insight knowledge, which realizes three characteristics, and then he would attain enlightenment, that is Maggaññāna, path knowledge, and Phalāññāna, fruition knowledge. These enlightenments, mental Maggaññāna, path knowledge, and fruition jnana, fruition jnana, Phalāññāna, fruition knowledge, they will see, realize the noble eightfold, they will realize the Four Noble Truths, and then destroying all mental defilement kilesas. Only then Vipassanā meditators has completely realized the final goal of Vipassana. So here we should rightly understand, rightly differentiate between the two kinds of Buddhist meditation. The two types of Buddhist meditation are samatha meditation and Vipassana meditation. The purpose of a samatha meditation is to attain deep concentration of the mind, such as a jhana concentration, absorption concentration. The purpose of a Vipassana meditation is to attain the cessation of a suffering nibbana through complete elimination of all mental defilement, kilesas, by realizing impermanent, suffering, impersonal nature of mental and physical phenomena. because samatha meditator needs deep concentration of a mind, so he takes concept, paññatti, as the object of a meditation. Vipassanā meditator needs to realize the true nature of nama and rupa, which are absolute reality, paramatha. That is why he takes any mental state or any physical process as the object of a meditation. The absolute reality, paramatha, the object of a vipassana meditation of four kinds. The first one is citta, consciousness. The second is cetasika, mental concomitants or mental associate. The third is rupa, material or physical phenomena. The fourth is nibbana, the cessation of suffering. These four are called paramatha, absolute reality. Out of these four types of paramatha, absolute reality, meditator has to observe three types of absolute reality, paramatha. They are citta, cetasika, and rupa. Consciousness, mental concomitants, and material phenomena. Nibbana is not the object of Vipassanā or Satipaṭṭhāna. It is a kind of paramatha, absolute reality, which is experienced by meditator when he has attained all 13 stages of insight knowledge and attained maggaññāna and phalayāna. He experienced this nibbana, the cessation of suffering. Each of these paramatha has its own specific characteristic, which is called sabhava lakkhana in Pali.
Again, please. Again,
All of these paramatha, absolute reality, has its own specific characteristic, sabhava lakkhana. Meditator needs to realize these specific characteristics, sabhava lakkhana of each of paramatha, absolute reality. After they have realized or experienced sabhava lakkhana, specific characteristic of these absolute reality, then they need to realize or experience impermanent suffering, impersonal nature of nama and rupa, or the true nature of mental and physical phenomena. Citta, the first absolute reality, paramatha, has cognizing an object as its specific characteristic. I'll repeat, the cognizing of an object is specific characteristic of citta, consciousness. Cetasika is not a single one. It has 52 in number. Cetasikas are 52 in number. Those are phassa contact, cetana motive or volition, and so on. Altogether 52 cetasika, which is called mental concomitants or mental associates. Out of these 50, each of these 52 cetasika, mental concomitant, has also their specific characteristics, their individual characteristic, sabhava lakhana. Out of these 52 cetasika, the most important cetasika, mental concomitants are 10, because they are the cause of all kinds of suffering. They are lobha, greed, desire, love, liking, clinging, grasping. These are the nature of what lobha, the cetasika lobha. If we have any greed or desire, clinging, grasping, love, and liking, then we are suffering. So these mental concomitant cetasikas are known as kilesas by the named by the Buddha. Kilesas are so called because they get defiled with the mind. So they get defiled with the mind. So they are called kilesas, mental defilements. Then dosa, anger, hatred, aversion, ill will. These are kilesas, mental defilements. They are also cetasika, mental concomitants. Then moha, ignorance and delusion. Then mana, conceit. Then deity, wrong view. Then vicikiccha, skeptical doubt about the triple gems. Then tinameda, sloth and torpor. Then uddhacca, kukucca. Uddhacca is a restlessness and kukucca is a remorse. Then ahirika, moral shamelessness. Anuttapa, moral fearlessness. These are the 10 kinds of kilesas, which are also cetasika, mental concomitants. These kilesas are the causes of all kinds of suffering, both mental and physical. Each of these kilesas also has specific characteristics, sabhava lakhana. For example, lobha, greed or desire, has the characteristic of a clinging an object. It's a specific characteristic. Then dosa has the characteristic of a rootness. Rootness as its own specific characteristic. all of these absolute realities, paramathas, must be realized, must be experienced by a Vipassana meditator. When a Vipassana meditator practices mindfulness meditation, when his experience and meditation is an advanced stage, he is able to realize, to experience these, the nature of Paramatha absolute reality, such as lobha, dosa, moha, and so on. In the same way, as to physical phenomenon, rupa, which is also absolute reality, paramatha, each of a physical unit has its own specific characteristic. For example, our body is composed of mainly the four primary material unit, physical unit. These primary material elements has its own specific characteristic. These four primary material elements, which are paramatha, constitute this body. They are Patavi Dhatu, earth element, Abo Dhatu, water elements, Tejo Dhatu, fire element, and Vayu Dhatu, wind element. They had their own individual or specific characteristic of paramatha, absolute reality. When we say paramatha, Patavi Dhatu, earth element, we don't mean the whole planet of earth. What we mean is the characteristic of earth element. This Patavi Dhatu, earth element, has hardness and softness as its own specific characteristic, paramatha, sabhava, lakhana. When we feel any part of our body with our hand, sometimes we feel hardness, sometimes we feel softness. That hardness and softness are the specific characteristic of earth element, which is absolute reality, paramatha. While we are practicing mindfulness and meditation by being aware of all mental states and physical processes that are arising at this moment, when our concentration is deep enough, then we feel sometimes a hardness, we feel sometimes a softness. It means we experience sabhava lakhana, specific characteristic of earth element. Abo Dhatu, water element, has also its own specific characteristic. Specific characteristic of water element is fluidity and cohesion. When we feel in our body any fluidity or any cohesion, any stickiness, then we are experiencing specific characteristic of water elements. And Tejo Dhatu is translated as a fire element traditionally. This Tejo Dhatu has also its own specific characteristic. They are hot and cold. Heat and cold are the specific characteristic of Tejo Dhatu, which is absolute reality, Paramatha. During our mindfulness meditation, if we experience heat or cold, it means that we are experiencing specific characteristic of Tejo Dhatu, which is Paramatha. Then Vayo Dhatu, wind element, it also has its own specific characteristic. Its specific characteristics is movements, motion, vibration, supporting. These are the specific characteristic of Vayo Dhatu, wind element. During our mindfulness meditation, if we feel or if we experience any movements, any motion, any vibration, any support in nature, it means that we are experiencing or realizing the specific characteristic, sabhava lakhana of wind or air element, which is Paramatha, absolute reality. In Sambhajanya Papa of Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, the Buddha teaches to observe stretching of the arms, the bending of the arms, and so on. All actions and movements we do must be aware of, must be mindful of as it is. It's called Sambhajanya Papa. The Buddha teaches us when we stretch out our arms, stretching we must be aware of, must be mindful of, must be observed as it really occurs. As making mental notes, stretching, perceiving each individual movements of a stretching process. In this case, first of all, when our concentration is not deep enough, not good enough, we are experiencing the form of the hand. When our concentration is not good enough, we realize or we experience the form of the hand. That means we realize the form of the hand, paññatti. The form of the hand is a paññatti, concept, not paramatha, not absolute reality. When our concentration is deep enough, we come to experience each individual movements of a stretching process, not the form of the hand. We experience each individual movements of the stretching process. It means that we are realizing specific characteristic of one element, which is absolute reality, paramatha. Later on, with the deeper and deeper concentration, we are experiencing a series of tiny movements, one after another, rising and passing away, without being conscious of the form of the hand. Just the movement is realized. These process of movements are not taken to be me or mine, a person or a being, because they are just movements. In this way, meditator realizes or experiences specific characteristic of wind element, air element, which is absolute reality, paramattha. Then he can remove the wrong view of a person, a being, a self, or a soul. When the deeper concentration we proceed with our practice of observing this, the process of the stretching of the arm, then we come to realize just the movements without being conscious of the form of the hand. And also we realize one movement arises, passes away, another movement arises and passes away, another movement arises and passes away. In this way, we very clearly see or realize or experience each individual movement arising and passing away one after another. Then we come to realize samanya lakkhana, that is impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, anatta, impersonal nature. When we first of all experience a series of movements, the process of movements, without being conscious of the form of the hand, it means that we are realizing nama, rupa, pariccheda, jnana, the insight knowledge of discerning mental and physical phenomena very well. When we experience each individual movement, one movement rises and passes away, another movement rises and passes away, another movement rises and passes away. It means that we are realizing samanya lakkhana, common characteristic of nama and rupa, which is absolute reality, paramattha. Anicca, dukkha, anatta has been well experienced. So, when we experience in this way, that stage of experience is called sammasana jnana, the insight knowledge of three characteristics: impermanence, suffering, impersonal nature. When all of the 13 stages of insight knowledge experienced by realizing sabhava lakkhana and samanya lakkhana of paramattha, absolute reality, gradually our meditative experiences getting up and then finally we attain magga-jnana, path knowledge, and phala-jnana, fruition knowledge. To experience or realize these sabhava lakkhana and samanya lakkhana, which are absolute reality, we need to attain deep concentration of a mind. To attain deep concentration, we need to have a continuous and constant mindfulness for the whole day by being mindful of all actions and movement we do for the whole day. To have continuous and constant mindfulness, we need to put strenuous effort in our practice. To put strenuous effort in the practice, we need to have strong and firm faith, saddha, and the triple gems. To have strong and firm faith, saddha, and triple gems, meditator should rightly understand the technique of meditation and how to do it. Strong and firm faith, saddha, and strenuous effort, viriya. Constant and continuous mindfulness, sati. Deep concentration, samadhi. Clear and penetrating insight, paññā. These four factors are called the five kinds of and the five mental faculties, pancha indriyas. So may all of you, having saddha, viriya, sati, samadhi, paññā, the five mental faculties powerful and sharp enough, and strive your best experiencing sabhava lakhana, samanya lakhana of the absolute reality paramattha, and attain magga jnana and phala jnana, then nibbana.